Hey everyone, it's Helene from Triangle Veg Fest, Veg Fest Expos, the Plant Based Network, and Virtual Veg Fest. We are here today for our weekly talk, and it is with Korin Sutton. First, I want to say thank you to Triangle Vegetarian Society for sponsoring our talks this week. And also, I'd like you to check out Virtual Veg Fest on YouTube and our website and start doing some shopping to support our vendors and to support Triangle Veg Fest and the Plant Based Network. Now on to Korin. Now, Korin was like on our tour last year. He literally came to, I think, at least 4 of our veg fests. So I got to
Yeah,
spend full weekends and dinners and everything with Corinne. And it was a lot of fun because you just don't know when you say, hey, speaker, why don't you come to like all these events and spend weekends with us? And
yeah.
you don't know. So I was really happy after the first weekend to go, okay, he's cool. This will be a lot of fun to have him around. And he kind of became part of our crew because he was with us so often. If you don't know and if you can't tell by looking at him, he's a bodybuilder. And he's vegan. And yep, there we go. And he's really a cool guy. But I want him to share with you more about him. And of course, if you're watching, please share that you're watching, say hi to us, tell us where you're from, ask any questions that you might have, because one of the fallacies out there is that you can't be as buff and strong as Corinne is and be vegan plant-based. And he's a really healthy eater. I know because I fed him for multiple weekends. You know, he actually really sticks to like eating well even when he's traveling, and to the point where he buys stuff at Trader Joe's or at the supermarket, like whole things of tofu that I've been able to get the balance of because it was left over and I've eaten it at home. So I'm going to throw it at Corinne so you can learn more about him, and then we'll kind of chit chat and you can see what he's doing and how he can help you, because he posts a lot on his Instagram, all of his before and after photos for the people that he works with. So we're going to delve in a little deeper into who Korin Sutton is.
All right, y'all. So, obviously, I'm Korin, and just a little bit about myself. I guess I could start there. I'm a 3-time pro bodybuilder, and also a master online fitness trainer, plus a nutritionist. And with me, I've been vegan for about 8 years. And like Helen said, that yeah, I have tons of testimonials. And the type of people that comes to me is individuals that are new vegans, so people who's trying to transition into a plant-based diet, just because when it comes to a lot of fallacies that's out there, a lot of people think that you can't be vegan and healthy. Like going vegan is malnourished, or you can't build muscle, you can't burn proper amount of body fat. Like there's tons of fallacies out there. And this can make you very confused and scared, especially if you have like an interest into going more plant-based. So this is where I come in to make sure that none of these fallacies actually come into like reality or truth. Yeah, because you can be malnourished on a vegan diet if you don't do it properly. If you're eating the wrong foods, not eating more whole food, plant-based foods that's full of nutrients and just greens and minerals and things like that, high in fibrous foods. Like you can get malnourished if you're not doing it right, especially when it comes to portion control and quality of foods that you're consuming. So this is where I come in and also help people achieve their fitness goals. And I leave tons of recipes, tons of information online. I mean, I even have a free ebook. So even during this chat, if y'all want a copy, just go on my Instagram, send a DM. I'll be happy to send you that link. And, definitely check out the book. It has tons of information, especially if you're a new vegan or even an old vegan, but want to improve your quality of life when it comes to the type of foods and equipment that you want inside your kitchen.
Fantastic. Corinne, can you tell us a little bit more about your history? Because you were in the military
Yeah, yeah.
and that really shaped you, because I know in your presentation you show a before and after of you in the military and then vegan. So tell us a little bit more about what that was like.
Yeah, so I did 8 years in military service. So I did 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, and my job in the Marine Corps, I was part of the Marine Corps Expeditionary Unit, is called the Mu-22. And this unit is very special because we don't, during wartime, I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4. There was units that would fly to Iraq, and then you had these special units that would actually sail across the sea. I was part of that unit, which was it was an amazing tour. I really had a lot of fun, but obviously doing the job for war is more intense. We're more boots on ground, dealing situations at hand. Like just to give you an idea, we had to create a base out of nothing and take over certain parts of the town to establish bases and what was called, I think they're called, like, I don't want to say the wrong terminology, but like camps, like small camps. So I was part of that. And then after that, I got out and then did another 4 years in the United States Navy reserves. So I did that, and that's more, when you hear reserves is more part-time. So you're not living on base. You still have what we'll call like a civilian lifestyle. So I'm able to have a normal job from the outside, but then 2 days out of the month, or sometimes they would, ship me out to do special types of trainings. I would have to leave and do those military jobs if they requested me to leave, but definitely 2 days out of the month, those were mandatory. So I was part of that as well. Now, it kind of all started with me when I was in the Navy Reserves and I was going to school full time. And the first person I saw was Gary Yourofsky, big vegan activist. He's the one that really influenced me and opened my mind to go more vegan to go vegan. And if you want to watch that speech, because I watched it live, it's called The Best Vegan Speech Ever. And I highly recommend to watch it. If you're a new vegan, old vegan, you're not vegan, definitely watch it no matter what. It's a really great speech, very positive and motivated. But that's pretty much how my journey pretty much started, just from that speech alone.
Very cool. And then, so where is that? Your journey started there, and then you just woke up one day and said, "Hey, I'm a military guy. I'm going to go vegan."
Yeah, because with me, there was a lot of things that made me think about when I watched that speech. He hit so many points that made a lot of sense, and one of those points were how can you love one animal but then also eat another? And then when he went into the ethics about it, it just made a lot of sense to me, and I felt bad when he made those similarities. And this is where I feel when it comes to activists, like the activists that's out in the front lines, doing the good work, telling people the truth. This is where some people just get upset, because that feeling you get when someone judges, or you feel that your morals are conflicted. It's either you have an open mind and you accept it, or you go on the defense and you get angry to try to keep your morals at high standards, like you're better than everyone else and you're doing the best you can. You know what I'm saying? And with me, I have an open mind. I didn't get all stereotypical and started thinking like, well, I'm a good person. No, I felt like a butthole. I straight up felt like a butthole, and I admitted to it. I was like, I never thought about it that way. Now, and he made a lot of sense when it came to that. When it came to just animals when they come into existence. Like another thing that really hit me was, how do you have a choice of what you want to be when you came into this existence, when you came into this reality, this life? So, as you know, like every being has that will to live. You never see a being just want to die for no reason, unless they're sick or something like that. But you have those variables. But like when you look at life, I mean, most beings survive and strive to live. And when I saw all the stuff that was happening in the slaughterhouse, I kind of compared it to people in war, because it's the same thing. It's like how I comprehended it. It was the same, because it was like, well, when you have an innocent being who just wants to strive to live, in war, it's not really just good guys and bad guys. There's a lot of people in between that, they don't want the war. They want the military to stop. They want all the terrorists to stop. They just want violence to stop overall, because they're in between the middle. And these are the casualties from war that had nothing to do with it. The wars between the combatants. That's what war is. It's between the country's combatants. So the military force shouldn't be going in, because there's a lot of rules and engagement. It's called the Geneva Convention, right? A lot of rules and engagement in war. Now, does people follow it? Not a lot of countries do, but United States people do, And when it comes down to that, it's like you can't just go in there and blazing fire like a cowboy. It's not like that. It's like very professional. It's ran very legit. Like the unit I was in was pretty legit, and you have to deal with those tasks. But being in war, you see that there's a lot of innocent people that get hurt, from the good guys and the bad guys, from both sides. People get involved and they get hurt and they die, and the living conditions suck. So like it came from normal, and some of these places was already like poor areas. You know what I'm saying? So like imagine like your life's already bad. You're already living in poverty, but now you have a war and you live in more poverty. Like that's not a good life. And then you have to deal with, bombs and good guys, bad, like all this stuff, all this violence. So I was like, there's a lot of innocent beings. And I keep saying innocent beings because it's lives. I just see lives. I don't see the difference when it's like a cow and a human. It's like they both want that. Their will is still the same. They want peace, they want love, and they just want to live. So when he kind of made it in that sense, and I kind of thought it like that, in my mind, from my experience, that's what really stuck for me when it came to ethics, to go vegan.
That is a great way to put it. You're 100% correct that all beings want to live. They fear death and they feel pain.
Yeah.
We can't deny that. Humans and all animal species besides humans on this planet.
Yeah.
Right now there's a lot of, I don't know if you want to go here, but there's a lot of issues right now with what happened in Minneapolis and Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
And
The George
and
Floyd.
yes,
Yeah.
and with the vegan community and their reaction to only caring about animals as opposed to caring about people and animals.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I actually said something on my story. I said like, being vegan isn't just animals. If you look up textbook or Webster dictionary, yes, it might say all that stuff, right? Probably. I'm not for sure, but it probably say it, right? But you see what I'm getting at, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I believe it's about all life, because when you look at veganism, like by definition, like I said before, it's for animals and stuff, but it's when you're doing the lifestyle, you're preserving all lives, because you're preserving your own life. You're making yourself healthier. If you're eating the right foods, you're giving yourself a better chance to live longer. There's a lot of benefits in it as well when it comes to environmental impact, as well as the agriculture, animals. So like everyone's winning from it. But when you see like civil rights and when it comes to human rights, it's the same thing too. Like we're all like different species that's living on this planet. So I don't see why it should. I think if you're vegan, like you should see that side from it as well. Like it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a color. I feel like going vegan is more cohesive because we understand like everything's connected. So there's no color and all that stuff, even though there is, and we all know there's still, but we're still connected. You know what I'm saying? We still know, like, overall, we're all human beings, and we should all help each other no matter what, no matter what stereotype, what position we're in. When something's wrong, it's wrong. And when it came to that situation, I saw the video. Obviously, that was wrong. Yeah, and especially for me being a military guy and knowing how to put people on the ground and arrest somebody, And also I've done security before, yeah, too. So like I got the mall cop training down, and
Yeah.
also military training down, right? And it's all the same. Like you know, you don't have to put his knee on his neck and all this stuff. And even if you did, if he said like, okay, like I can't breathe, like just like lay off. Like you have 4 guys holding the dude down, just lay off. Man, I arrested people, and there was people got banged up, but like I didn't. It wasn't from like abuse. It was because it was resistance. But after they cool off, I wasn't like kicking him in the face and teasing him and stuff. I just told him straight up. I was being real with the dude. I was like, all right, so now since you calm down, like, this is what's going to happen. And I just tell him what's up. And sometimes it's a big thing. Sometimes it's a small thing. Yeah. Like if it's something small, I'll be like, yo, look, this is the rules. This is what's going to happen. I would just walk away with, a ticket, man. So like all that struggling and resisting and running through the mall like a crazy guy, was unnecessary, right?
Okay.
And because that's all it would have been. So now you got me all messed up and dirty. You're all beat up, and and it wasn't even necessary. It was something over some stupid stuff, and I'm just trying to do my job, bro. Like no offense, like I get paid. This is what they pay me to do. Yeah, I know that's segregation, man. But like when you see that type of stuff on TV, it's like some people really become the product of their environment, and whatever other biased stuff they have in their mind, they kind of create this monster, and it's not good. Like they're arresting a civilian, man. Like, are you seriously? Like I had to go in countries where you see children with AK-47 walking around the street. I couldn't just walk up to them and pop them in the face. You couldn't, because rules of engagement.
Yep.
If you did something like that, you'll get court-martialed. Right there, they don't care if it's war. They'll be like, "What did they do?" Like that's our rules of engagement is this, because this is the country, this is the rules, and like this is how it rolls out. We train you better than that. Come on,
Right.
get it good. Yeah.
Yeah. Key word there was they trained you better than that.
Yeah.
That's the key in there. Trained.
Mm-hmm.
Psychological and physical, and especially mental, the psychological mental part of recognizing that even though you're in a position of authority, you still don't have the authority to take somebody's life just
Yeah.
because you're arresting them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's like, and then I mean, shit. Hello, I'm sorry, I have to kind of say this, but like you're a white cop, bro. Like you're not watching the news, like do you want to be that next dude? Like that,
Yeah.
if I was a white guy, that's what I would have thought. Like like I don't want to be the next guy. Like come on, like hello, wake up, bro. But again, that's maybe he has demons, racist. I don't know, man. Like it wasn't right. Whatever he is, racist, whatever was going on in that dude's mind, and whatever he believed in, whatever. What he did was wrong,
100%.
and everyone around was wrong. A lot of people. There was a lot of wrong that was going on that day, from what I see. A lot of wrong.
100%.
From everywhere. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous that this actually happened, and nothing literally happened.
It happened again. What's the most important thing there is also it happened again. Not the first time. I hope it's the last. I doubt it will be, because it's humans. And it's this country. It's not all countries. It's this country. Just for the people who are watching internationally. It's not your country. It's our country.
And I want to tell you this. Like I've been in, like I said, when you're in war is when there's no rules, everything's upside down. And that's why I saw the protesting and got crazy. Like I don't know. I just saw little clips online. I don't know how valid that is. But like this is the results. Like people are going to get upset and people are going to turn, because when you're trying to have people who's trying to be law-abiding citizens, and then they're getting screwed up by obeying the law, like you're not going to get the respect, and it's like something that I think Bob Marley said, that is like everyone respects the everyone respects the badge, but or no one respects the badge, but everyone respects the gun. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. It's the thing that holding everyone back from doing everything, because the citizens don't want to get hurt, because if they're doing that shit to a guy who's unarmed and they intervene, they don't want to get killed either. And next thing you know, it's a gun. It's like an Indian and cowboy gunfight, you know. But then if people start seeing this, the citizens is going to rise and start carrying themselves, and then they're going to start intervening the law themselves. And this is when shit really gets real. So that's why people don't understand. Like, if you're a cop and you're in these positions, like, do it because you serve and protect. That's your oath, you know. So whatever racist shit you got, or whatever, you know, power, you know, power mongol or whatever that's in your mind, you know, you need to turn that shit down, man. You know, there's a lot of guys, a lot of military guys that I know, you know, even other cops that I know, you know what I mean, that knows the difference when to cool it down, you know. This is just regular people, man.
Right. And if you don't, maybe it's time to change careers,
Yeah,
retire, go into something
do it.
else. Right. Because you have to. And no, the other thing is, it's not just the individual person who has to recognize, it's the people that work with him or her, and their authority figures within that department need to recognize when somebody is blowing their top. I mean,
Yeah.
there's signs. I mean, I just saw a sheet about his history, and there were
Mhm.
definitely signs that he was a bit of a raging police officer.
Yeah.
So, and I can't pronounce your name, but I don't want to ruin it. I'll call you Ib. But years of oppression and injustice lead to what happened. You're right. Thank you for sharing that and for joining us. And Troy, hey, he loves you. He's your best bud. I've never saw two boys giggle as much as the two of you. So, well, so I feel like that's an incredibly important topic, as much as it's not necessarily vegan, plant-based, but it is, because it's within our community, and there's dissent within our community in regards to remembering that people matter too, and not just the animals. We need to fight for everybody. And this is one of those times where people of my skin color need to stand up for people of yours, because it needs to change. It has to change. It has to stop.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we took some time today to put that into this, because it is incredibly, incredibly important.
Yeah.
So to jump to something else, we go back to, like, you help people. So with HD body fitness, right?
Body HD, yeah.
Body HD, right? Tell people more about that, and, like, tell us some stories of people that you've worked with who came to you that were just muscle-less. Or, like, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of the pictures that you post, and people don't look fat, right? But by the time you get through with them, whether it's a month, 2 weeks, 3 months, whatever later, their body fat has decreased and they're toned.
Yeah.
As opposed their weight hasn't changed that much, but their body is toned. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, because when it comes to weight, a lot of people pay too much attention to weight, and weight compromises of water, body fat, and muscle, and then you have your bones and stuff like that, right? But within that, fat and water can easily fluctuate their weight a lot, and then also your muscle can as well. So when I have someone who's like out of shape, and they have like a little belly, and they want to tighten up and look better, you know, and have like an abs, or, you know, just have that healthy look, you know, so they have the self-confidence to wear that bikini, or, you know, for a man, take off his shirt in the beach, and be able to work out or something, like topless, you know. Like, these are a lot of insecurities that people have, and they want to feel comfortable in better clothing, you know. So I help them with that, because mostly when it comes to the food, it's what people are consuming. And this is where I really intervene, because when I see what they're eating, some people are just eating too much food, right? And then you have some individuals just eating the wrong foods. That's just like the majority of the diet is coming from processed stuff. Yeah, it's vegan, but it's processed. And usually the story I hear is like, I lost 10 pounds, but going vegan, but now I'm still out of shape. Like it was great. I feel get better, but like I can't just get rid of the stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like why don't I look like some of the guys I see on Instagram and they're like shredded, six pack? Why don't I look like you, man? You got muscles and stuff. Like what are you doing that I'm not doing? So what I do is make customized meal plans and workout plans to help achieve people to get to their goals, because everyone eats different amounts of food and everyone body moves differently and functions differently according to the fitness goals that they're trying to achieve and their experience level when it comes to their training. So for example, like if someone who doesn't eat like a good vegan diet but never learned how to train before, first you want to start with a vegan diet that's easy to make, is fast to prep. Also, they're able to learn more about the nutrients better, be able to learn about the portions of foods that they should be eating, actually learning like how to build a proper plate that's balanced. Yeah, I create meal plans for people so that it could give them the guidance so they're able to build a balanced plate. Because when it comes to how we build our plates, first we're coming from a place where, even like myself, I came from a place where I grew up eating meat my whole entire life, pretty much like good big portion of my life. But when it came to building a plate, it was all based off the triangle and the SAD diet, standard American diet, which isn't that great. So trying to learn and rebuild a plate of how a vegan healthy diet should look like is totally different. So I use an application called MyFitnessPal to help guide you to make sure that, I'm not telling you just to eat this so you can get like, because it's balanced and it hits your macros and it's the right size of portion, but you can see how much nutrients you're getting out. See, it's like you're eating more smart. Yeah, you're not just eating intuitively. You're eating smarter. You're making sure that you're eating foods that will replenish all the nutrients that you need. It's not you're just eating foods like, oh, well, oranges are good for me, or watermelons just taste great and it keeps me hydrated. You're not learning just all these basic things you see on like Instagram and memes and maybe things you might remember reading a book, right? Like you're actually making sure you're actually getting the foods to get all, like getting the foods that's going to optimize your body when it comes to the vitamins and minerals and plus the fiber that you're consuming. So that's what I usually do.
And then, so how do you get one to do it? One of the things you said previously is to keep it as a simple diet, as things that are easy to prepare. So
Yeah.
talk about those macros and why that's important. Because I know that when you do your lives when we are eating out, you actually do an Instagram live of your food, what you're eating, and you even said, I'm still traveling and I'm still eating, not a load of fried food, but some delicious healthy food, especially like in Nashville when we went to Avo. I mean, that was easy.
Yeah.
It's a raw food restaurant, right? So. But yeah, explain a little bit more about that for people who don't understand, like why they need to do this with their food.
Yeah, so macronutrients is large nutrients that's vital for the body to function. So like for example, we all know what calories are, right? Like calories is a unit of heat, which is energy. Okay, this is how we measure energy when it comes to food. So when it comes to our macronutrients, this is like our large nutrients, like our protein, our carbohydrates, our fats. So then when I say something like micronutrients, that would be your small nutrients, which is like vitamin A, B vitamins, D vitamins, zinc, potassium, all that stuff. That could be considered micronutrients, okay? So the macros is important because when it comes to those three nutrients, it's about how much for each individual, depending on their fitness goals and their performance levels and also their health goals. This all varies on how much protein each person should be consuming. The same thing when it comes to the carbs and the fat. So when it comes down to like diets, you hear people say like, high carb diet is optimal, low carb diet is good, and you hear all this misconceptions here and there. The reality is that for everyone, it's going to be different. That's the reality. It's not something with what works better, low or high. It works different for everyone, and some people can also do both. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be low and high carbs. You could even set it up like that as well. So when it comes to that, then this is where I come in to make sure that you don't have to listen to all this nonsense and try to figure out on your own what diet or what plant-based diet really works for you. As long as you're optimizing your nutrients and you're eating, like I said, mostly a whole foods plant-based diet. And I'm not saying that you can't have the processed foods. I mean, you have to have real moderation with that. You have to look at processed foods as like, like if you go to McDonald's or get any type of microwave food, it's just the same, but just a vegan version of it. So, you have to respect it that way. But with that said, like, this is where I come in so I can show you that balance and actually show you how to optimize the nutrients so you can get to your goals. So I hope that's a great way of answering that.
No, that was great. And Ibby's got a question. Everyone is a self-proclaimed health coach. How do we filter them out and what they post? That's Facebook.
That's pretty simple. Yeah, because the best way is to see where they're certified at, and also testimonials. You know what I'm saying? Like, I follow tons of plant-based doctors. I mean, I'll see they're highly credible from what they say. But when it comes to other individuals like trainers or bodybuilders and stuff like that, I mean, I will always look at their background and their history and where they're coming from. Because, like, there's bodybuilders out there that I even know, and they don't have a lick of education in nutrition. They're kind of just self-taught, and when it comes to that, it's like, how much can you put so much trust in someone that, is self-taught versus someone that actually went to school. You know what I mean? It's like, would you go to a doctor who's self-taught or someone who went to school? You know what I'm saying? Like, because and there's a difference, because people who self-taught, I mean, they could probably still get good results, but then when you always have like special cases where people that might have a particular disease or something going on with them that requires a little bit more professional attention to, and this is where, people like myself comes in. And because I've, like I said, I've seen like bodybuilders who create programs, and their programs are just, and I'm not saying like vegans, just anyone in general, where they'll create plans just based off of what they know, and I've seen some bodybuilding programs out there where it's like majority of their vitamins and minerals are coming from supplements, you know what I'm saying? And everything else is just coming from basic food, you know what I mean? And so it's like, why won't you just add some freaking vegetables and some fruits in their diet to get the vitamins and minerals? Why are you giving them tons of supplements? You know what I'm saying? So It's like, this is where it comes from. So that's the best way. Look at their credentials and look at the testimonials. Definitely look at testimonials and check out their background. See where they're coming from. Yeah.
Right. And don't believe everything you read on the internet, and don't take medical advice from people on the internet. I mean, even the doctors I know, like Dr. Milton Mills recently posted on his page, I'm not going to give you medical advice through Facebook. I don't know your history. I don't know the ins and outs of your body. Don't do that, right? Don't do it.
Like with me, I'm specialized in sport nutrition. So I work with people when it comes to movement, people who's active. So that's where I come in. But if someone came to me with stage 4 cancer and stuff, and they're all sick and shit, and they're like, oh, I need your nutrition plan, I'm not going to take them under my wing. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm vegan and I read their books and I see what all the other doctors do, I can't just say, well, I can just do what they did and write up a plan so I can just get some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. That's not the case. Like, you're dealing with people's lives. So with me, I would just refer them to another doctor. I'll refer them to a doctor.
Right.
And be like, maybe, if anything, refer them to a plant-based doctor. You know what I mean? Because they already have some type of intention to do plant-based, things, or take that route going plant-based. So like even me, like I just know when it's over my head and I can't take you, like and I've had it happen, like not like terminal stage 4 cancer, but people who's like really messed up, like they had like a list of things, and I was like, look lady, or look sir, it's the honor that you came to me, but I feel that what's going on is way beyond my control. Like you have to go see someone. You have like an autoimmune disease and you're looking for reversal. I think you should go to this doctor, or whatever the case can be if it's too serious. But if it's like, hey, I'm trying to lose fat, I have high cholesterol or something, and, like it's the situation isn't too crazy at that moment. Yeah, that's where I can go. Yeah, and that's my grounds. You know what I mean?
Yep. And as Troy just said, not ethical as well. It's a great answer, right? It's not all about making money. It's about doing the right thing by people. And when you do the
Yeah,
right thing, the money tends to come,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your best success story with like your clients?
Man, I don't know. I have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a lot because like I know I had one guy, if I can remember his name really quick, Darrell. Yeah, Darrell. He was one. I really like. He's a really cool guy, and he has 2 daughters, and he wanted to transition to a vegan diet, and his family ate meat. So he was the first, member in the family that wanted to go vegan because he saw, I forgot what documentaries, but he saw some of those vegan documentaries, probably Conspiracy or Fork Over Knives, something on that nature. And when he came to me, I helped him out because what really hurt him about going vegan and also trying to train and lose his body fat because he had a belly was he traveled a lot for work. He was always on the airplane traveling. So what I did was I told him, well, I can definitely help you out when it comes to traveling and making sure you can get all the foods in and the exercises. So since everything's customized, and also there's a lot of accountability and support, it's like I really coach you through this so you can make it possible. Yeah, because you'll be surprised that we're the only ones that kind of stops ourselves when it comes to trying to add something new within our lifestyle. Because remember, exercise and nutrition and eating differently is a lifestyle change. So it takes a lot of effort, and sometimes in the beginning it can feel like it's a hard task because it's not part of your normal routine. But that's where I come in to help you make it a routine and make it part of your life. So with that said, I mean, pretty much I helped him out through that journey, and he didn't go 100% vegan, but he did do like somewhere around 80 to 90% plant-based, and the only thing he did eat that was an animal was chicken, but he was eating tofu and tempeh and seitan. He was eating all that stuff. Just from time to time he'll get chicken. So I thought that was a win, because I figured when he left, and he had a 6-pack, he had a 6-pack and everything. So when he left, so I thought it was a win because he was happy. He got his 6-pack. He reduced his animal intake, right? And I figured, like, because he got his 6-pack by majorly eating a plant-based diet, just how I transitioned myself. I went pescatarian first before I went vegan. I figured, there might be someone else out there that might influence him to just go all the way. Like I did enough on my part, and maybe there's like a Joey Carb Strong, or that's a hardcore activist is getting in his face and be like, what are you waiting for? Maybe it was just that he need that ethical click, someone just to reinforce it again. And what ended up happening, I say about 5-6 months later, he came back and he was 100% meat eater again.
Oh.
So, but listen to this. His whole family went vegan.
So wait. So he went back to eating meat, but his whole family went vegan?
Because during the time he was, implementing all the foods and getting all this vegan stuff, his daughters are athletes, and they saw how he was getting shredded, and he was able to roll with them, like run with them, play basketball with them. So they're like, man, if that vegan diet made him do this, because he wouldn't be able, like throughout that journey he wasn't able to play ball with them. He would be tired, all this awesome, and then now he could play with his daughter, and his daughters are in college. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Okay.
So he wanted to keep up with them. And, yeah, just shooting the hoop. You know, and not something crazy. You know, but be able to stay in there and just have some fun. Because they saw that, and the mom saw how much effort he did through the traveling and through at the house, and they saw so much improvement in his health and his physical activities. They went vegan because they were like, "Yo, we want to be like you." But then while he was traveling, he started, with the meetings and stuff, he started losing the habits that he gained while he was under my supervision. And he started incorporating, like, first it was fish and then eggs. And the next thing you know, he's like, bro, next thing you know, I'm eating meat again. And, I'm back to where I was. Yeah, I look worse, and I'm sluggish again. And he's like, and now I want to go vegan, because he's like, everyone's vegan because of me. And even my wife gives me shit, my daughters give me shit. So, like, I really want to go. And he came back to me, and it worked a lot faster this time. I think in 2 or 3 months, working with me, he got all the way back, because he already knew my system. He knew how it worked. So he just started implementing it again, and then he's been vegan ever since. So, I think that was a pretty good win, because, even though I didn't get him to go vegan 100% the first time, I influenced 3 other people in his household. And then at the end of everything, the whole family went vegan. So I think that's really good. And if you look at the time, it probably, like, overall maybe a whole year, that went by. But everyone has their journeys and situations that goes on. So it shows that, sometimes you just have to be persistent and just have patience with people, and they're willing to change, because you never know what they're doing, how they're influencing the people that's around them. So that's something to always take at hand.
That was a great story. You planted seeds where you didn't even know they were sprouting.
Yeah.
And then where you were planting them, they didn't take.
Yeah.
and then he finally realized, wait, there's something to this. I should do this and get healthy again, because he went to the yo-yo thing. So that's actually really cool. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Ibby's asking some great questions, and we appreciate your interacting. So just so you know, it doesn't matter if you are 1 person or 10 people, we like it. So soy-based products, right? You're trying to conceive. She's saying people are trying to conceive, so they avoid soy-based products. I don't know if we can necessarily answer that. I mean, I can say that organic soy only.
Yeah.
Only organic soy if you're going to eat soy whatsoever.
Absolutely. You want to do more organic soy, because that's the best one you want to consume. You don't want to get all the chemicals and the pesticides that they add onto the soybean, because if you get all of that, then and they process it, it's going to be a lot higher, because when tofu is created, they isolate the protein. It's a natural processing of isolation. And so that's why the protein is higher and the carbs are low, because soy, like we're talking about tofu, you know what I'm saying? But like when I say soy, I mostly talk about tofu. So if we're talking about tofu, for example, this is an isolated protein, and it's made from soybeans. So if you know, with soybeans, it's high in protein, but it's also high in carbohydrates, because it's a bean. But when you get tofu, you see the carbs are low, but the protein's really high, right? Because what they do is they separate the protein from the starch in a natural isolation process. And when they do this, everything that floats up on top, because they use like, I forgot the actual term of it. I think it's called coagulation. Yeah. And this is when they add something bitter into, I think they use like soy milk and something bitter, and you rest the beans in there or something like that. It's some process. You can Google it. I just can't think about it right now. But but it's a natural process if you look it up. And it separates the protein from the starches, and then anything that floats on top is the protein, and then they isolate it and press it. And that's how you get tofu. So Yeah, you definitely want to get organic, because if you're going to take something that's isolated and concentrated, you definitely want to do something that's more organic.
Yes, most definitely, especially with something like that. And
Yeah,
there's so many stories out there about soy. It's bad for you, it's good for you, it's bad for men, it's okay for people. I fall along the lines of soy is good for you if it's organic. Don't eat non-organic soy. That is some of the best stuff the best worst stuff that you can put into your body, because it is high chemical. Remember, the soy feed is a lot of what the animals are eating,
yeah.
and it's a main crop that's grown. It's a very big crop that's grown in this country and exported from this country that is fed to a lot of animals,
And if it's
right?
being fed to the animals, then you want to make sure, I mean, I know this is a vegan thing, but like, if you're someone who eats meat, and you're eating just regular cattle, I mean, you're eating exactly what they eat. So if they're, don't think all beefs are the same. If you're eating non-GMO beef, you're eating, and you're talking about and you're afraid of soy. Imagine how much soy those cows be eating. You know what I mean? So that meat, they are what they eat. So that meat and the protein and everything is coming from all the non-GMO, and that's what you're getting. Yeah, and then if you want to say, well, what about grass fed? Well, yeah, you're taking out the soy, and probably, when it comes to your initiative of thinking, it's probably it's smarter. I'll give you that. But then at the same time, how about the growth of the animal? Like, are they adding steroids or hormones into the animal? What about the type of grass? How they're treating the grass? You have to think about stuff like that. Just because it's green grass, they could still put the stuff into the grass as well, pesticides and all this stuff. So you have to think about that as well. So while you're thinking about all of that and try to make the connections of the animal, I'd rather just go somewhere that's plant based and just eat an orange that's non GMO or organic.
Yes.
Tree. I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. And I just grab it and eat it. And I don't have to worry about what some being ate and how it was fed and the treatment and all that stuff. Because it's just a lot of homework and processing you got to do versus simplifying things. Just eat fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes and grains. You don't have to really worry about all that nonsense. They just grow it.
Right,
Say,
right.
grow it, pick it, you eat it. The process is a lot simple. You don't have to do a lot of research on that.
Right. And you're very fortunate, because if you don't know, he lives in Miami. So he can have a orange tree in his yard that he can go pick an orange and eat it.
Yeah,
Not
I
all
used
of
to
us are
have a tree
fortunate.
at my old house. I used to have a mango tree at my old house, and
Uh,
I just go up and pick it. And we had 3 different types of mango trees. It was amazing when I was in that place, because like during this time, it'd be mango season. Man, we have so much mangoes. It was crazy.
yeah, the mangoes are really good this year.
Yeah.
So I would love to have a try. I was actually said, can we grow a mango tree in North Carolina? I don't think so. But I was like, we should try that. We should totally try to grow a mango tree. That's like really cool. But yes, food is fuel. Fuel your body with the best thing that you can possibly feed it, and that will add to your overall health. Sorry, Troy. Mangoes are a sore point today for Troy. That is so funny. If you come over, I'll give you one. So, yes, all right, yes, everybody kind of loves. If go get mangoes right now, they're in season and they're delicious. Just so you know. Oh, Lashonda, you're in Florida now too. Ah, that's so nice. We miss you in Raleigh and Durham. So, if someone wanted to follow you, get involved with your program,
Mhm.
how do they get in touch? How do they do that?
You could easily find me on Instagram. That's probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. Just type in my name, Korin Sutton. And if you want to check out my services or testimonials, or pick up my free ebook, go to my website, bodyhdfitness.com, and you'll see all that information there. Especially if you want to have even a private 10-minute chat with me. I do free assessment calls. We could just sit there, chat, talk about, where you're at, with fitness, what help you need, and I can help you with that as well. So just go there, check it out.
Yes, no, that's awesome. I was gonna ask you something, but I forget what it is because I'm writing your info on the text so people can know where to find you. So as your name, because basically if they know how to spell your name, they can find you,
Yeah,
which is
pretty
like the
much.
best thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember now. So before we go, people are at home, right? I mean, some people are starting to get out, but gyms are still closed in North Carolina. I mean, a lot of New York City is completely closed still. People need to exercise, right? I've mentioned on these that I'm using my Wii Fit. I'm doing yoga on my Wii. I'm actually running 3 minutes in my house, which I've never run 3 minutes in my life. So I'm planking. I planked for a minute. I mean, that's like amazing. I started with 30 seconds. I went up to a minute. I've done it like 2 nights in a row now as for a minute plank. And
Mm.
I'll edit. I'll go to 90 seconds when I feel like I can get to 90 seconds, which is the
Yeah.
coolest thing in the whole world. It's like this virus, this home thing has been really good for me. So I introverted me. So I was like, I'm exercising more than I did when I went out of the house,
Hmm.
which is really cool. But what's your last piece of advice for people who are home? What can they do if they haven't started or they are missing their gym to stay in shape?
Definitely, like some of the things y'all can do. I mean, if you're just like starting off and you just want to try to find like activity, you can start off with brisk walks. I mean, something simple as that. Just a brisk walk, or jog outside for like 15, 30 minutes if you're allowed to. Depending where you're at. But even just starting doing something, any type of physical activity will help. And then when it comes to the foods, than buying a bunch of processed like pasta and junk food and ice cream and stuff and just loading yourself up. Start going to the produce section, especially during this time, because even though things are opening up, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be like cautious still, because you still want to have a good immune system. You still want to be consuming plant-based foods. So shopping more in the produce aisle. I always say all the foods on the outside of the store are the most healthiest. Everything that's in between is not. So you want to definitely shop more on the outside, especially in that produce section. So those are good steps to start off with, and then once you get into the routine or you're looking for more professional help, I mean, that's where I could come in and guide you with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lashonda used to live in this community, but I know that she's on a a health kick. I know you're biking, and I've seen your pictures and how she's changed. I was just wondering. She said that she thought of you today, of this morning.
Oh,
She's going to
cool.
reach out to you. Is
Hi.
she one of your clients? I
No,
guess.
no, she's not. Mm-mm.
Oh, maybe she should be. Well, thank you for that. I think it's really important because people are still home, and you do need to take care of yourself. And you do need to move, like Troy just said. He's been homebound studying, so need to move. Troy, move. Go for a walk. Get Danny out with you. Go for a walk and start that. Stephen and I started going for walks like over the past. I've walked every day outside. I think for the past 6 days, and even if it was going to rain, I was like, we'll just do it in the rain because it's warm. So we'll just get wet. It's just walking. So, but for everyone, take care of yourselves. Thank you for joining us again, or if it's your first time, thank you. And know that we're tomorrow. I said in the middle of this when Korin disappeared, I said Dr. Michael Greger is tomorrow at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we have him for 30 minutes. If you have any questions for him that you want me to ask, please send them to me, and I will get to them. Or join us live and ask him yourself, and we'll get to as many as we possibly can, because I'm super excited. That's been on my books for about a month and a half. And it's finally here, and it's tomorrow. And then again, please like Virtual Veg Fest. Go while we were on this, somebody joined the kindness membership on Virtual Veg Fest, which is super exciting because it's like good starting. Virtual Veg Fest is taking off, so that's really cool. Please follow us and support us in the Plant Based Network as well. And of course, go and get in shape with Korin. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So I totally can vouch for just how cool as shit he is to hang out with. So,
Yeah.
and I know that he would do a great job because I mean, I like I said, I've been with him when he's eating, and he's not one of those people. A lot of our speakers come and they eat really healthy when they are out and traveling, and it only influences everyone else to do the same thing, which I've
Yeah.
seen in person. So thank you so much,
Yeah. No
and thank you to
problem.
everyone else. And I will, talk to everyone soon. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Nice.